Today, we are going to talk about solar maximum. What is actually happening to the sun? The sun feels constant and reliable in everyday life. It rises every morning, sets every evening, and provides the energy that keeps Earth warm and alive. Because of this consistency, it's easy to forget that the sun is not a calm object. It is an extremely active star powered by constant nuclear reactions in its core. In 2025, scientists confirmed that the sun has entered a phase known as solar maximum. This is a period when the sun becomes far more active than usual, producing more sunspots, solar flares, and massive eruptions of charged particles into space. These events are a normal part of the sun's life cycle, but they matter more today than ever before because modern civilization depends heavily on technology that is sensitive to solar activity. In this video, we'll clearly explain what solar maximum is, why the 2025 to 2026 period is important, how solar storms affect Earth, and what realistic risks exist, without exaggeration and without fear-based storytelling, how the sun's activity cycle works. The sun follows an activity cycle that lasts about 11 years. This cycle is driven by changes in the sun's magnetic field. During one part of the cycle, called solar minimum, the sun is relatively quiet. There are fewer sunspots, fewer flares, and fewer large eruptions. As the cycle progresses, the sun's magnetic field becomes increasingly twisted and unstable. This leads to solar maximum, the most active phase of the cycle. During solar maximum, the number of sunspots increases dramatically, and the sun produces more energetic events. Sunspots are dark regions on the sun's surface where magnetic fields are especially strong. These regions are often the source of solar flares and coronal mass ejections. When the sun reaches solar maximum, sunspots appear more frequently and in greater numbers, increasing the likelihood of powerful solar events. This cycle is completely natural and has been occurring for billions of years. Why solar cycle 25 is getting attention? Solar cycle 25 began around 2019. Early predictions suggested that it would be relatively weak. However, as data accumulated through 2023 and 2024, scientists noticed something unexpected. The sun was becoming more active faster than predicted. By 2025, sunspot counts had already exceeded many early forecasts. Solar flares were occurring more often, and Earth experienced several strong geomagnetic storms that produced widespread auroras and minor technological disruptions. This does not mean the sun is becoming abnormal or dangerous in a new way. It means that this particular solar maximum is stronger than expected, which increases the chances of disruptive solar storms during 2025 and 2026. What a solar flare actually is. A solar flare is a sudden release of energy from the sun's surface caused by magnetic field lines snapping and reconnecting. This process releases intense radiation across the electromagnetic spectrum, including X-rays and ultraviolet light. Solar flares travel at the speed of light, meaning their radiation reaches Earth in about 8 minutes. When a strong flare occurs, it can disrupt radio communications, interfere with GPS signals, and increase radiation exposure for astronauts and high-altitude flights. Solar flares alone usually do not cause large-scale damage on Earth's surface, but they often occur alongside more dangerous events called coronal mass ejections. Coronal mass ejections and why they matter more. A coronal mass ejection, or CME, is one of the most powerful events the sun can produce. During a CME, billions of tons of charged plasma are launched into space at speeds that can exceed several million kilometers per hour. If a CME is directed toward Earth, it interacts with Earth's magnetic field. This interaction can compress the magnetosphere and inject large amounts of energy into Earth's upper atmosphere. The result is a geomagnetic storm. Strong geomagnetic storms can induce electrical currents in power lines, damage transformers, disrupt satellites, and degrade GPS accuracy. This is where the real risk to modern technology exists. The Carrington event. A real example, the most famous solar storm in recorded history occurred in 1859 and is known as the Carrington event. During this event, a massive CME struck Earth, causing telegraph systems to fail, spark, and even catch fire. Auroras were visible near the equator. At the time, global technology was minimal. If a storm of similar strength occurred today, it could disrupt power grids, damage satellites, and affect communication networks across large regions of the world. Scientists estimate that such extreme events are rare, but not impossible. The probability increases during solar maximum periods, why modern society is more vulnerable. In the past, solar storms mainly affected navigation and communication systems. Today, almost every critical system depends on electronics and satellites. Solar storms can temporarily disable satellites, reduce GPS accuracy, disrupt aviation routes, overload power grids, damage long-distance communication cables indirectly through grid failures. Even a moderate storm can cause economic losses. Recovery from large-scale power outages can take days or weeks, especially if transformers are damaged. This vulnerability is not due to poor engineering, it is simply the result of living on a technologically advanced planet near an active star. Are humans personally in danger? For people on Earth's surface, the risk is very low. Earth's magnetic field and atmosphere provide strong protection from solar radiation. The groups at higher risk include astronauts in space, airline crews on high-latitude flights, satellites, and space-based systems during strong solar storms. Astronauts may move to shielded areas of spacecraft, and flights may be rerouted to reduce radiation exposure. Can we predict solar storms? Scientists cannot predict solar storms far in advance, but they can monitor the sun continuously. Spacecraft observe the sun's surface and detect eruptions, providing warnings anywhere from minutes to hours before a CME reaches Earth. This warning time allows operators to place satellites into safe modes, prepare power grids, reroute flights, reduce potential damage. We cannot stop solar storms, but we can reduce their impact. What happens after 2026? Solar cycle 25 is expected to peak around 2025 to 2026. After that, solar activity will gradually decline toward the next solar minimum. This does not mean solar storms will disappear completely, but their frequency and intensity will decrease over time. Future solar cycles will continue, just as they always have. Conclusion: living with an active star, the sun, is not becoming hostile, and solar maximum is not a sign of impending catastrophe. It is simply a reminder that Earth exists in a dynamic cosmic environment. Modern civilization depends on systems that are sensitive to space weather. Understanding solar activity allows us to prepare, adapt, and respond intelligently rather than fearfully. The sun will continue its cycles long after humanity's time on Earth. Our task is not to fear it, but to understand it. Subscribe.